Good evening, everyone. Well, I have been here almost 40 years in America. As you can see, when I first came to America, there were only two sexes, male and female. Now you have an application. I recently filled at least 12. There's bisexuals. The only thing I didn't see was asexual. Well, maybe one of these days it will be in there. The other thing was price of gas was 69 cents. I remember that very well. A gallon. It's the regular gas, 69 cents. That was kind of cute. Never will you find that in 2026. Some places you have $5 a gallon for premium, 4.75 for premium, or sometimes $7 in Alaska, I guess. Well, sign of the times. The music at that time was just loud. There was a time it was that tune said, "There's a lady who's sure." Yeah, that was the song when I came into America. And then and then nowadays you have the hip hop beat, and then you have the rapping time. It's something uh, something I never even imagined that it would be out in the open. Okay, about prices nowadays, it's unbelievable. Stock prices at that time was something like there was not even a the Nasdaq, or there was no Nasdaq at that time when I came here. I guess can't remember. And also, the healthcare has changed so much. Nowadays, your Medicare will not get you anywhere without the Medicare Advantage, where you buy your Part C and D and all that kind of stuff. Before, when you have Part A and B of your Social Security, you're good enough. I remembered my my family members who were older than me having had that, and of course, this is what happens when you have an open economy, open capitalist economy. There is a baseline, but there is no uh, top off. You cannot top it off. The interest can go anywhere from 1 0 to 50 if you want, and you know things of that nature is not really healthy. It might be healthy for America, but not for everybody. The other thing that I noticed was that politically there was only two parties, GOP and the Democrats. Nowadays you have factions of GOP who's loyal to Trump, and and then the other ones that are still moderate. Now we have rightist, leftist, and all that. Of course, I'm reminded of the Ruby Ridge incident and the Waco way back in the 90s or 80s. I can't remember. And then we had wars that we, uh, we joined. It was the end of the Vietnam War in the 1970s, 75, something like that. And then intervening years, they called it the LOC, the low level conflict. yeah, in area in Nicaragua, in El Salvador, in Laos, in Cambodia, in Yugoslavia, all those kind of places had those kinds of conflicts. Nothing like a world war. And then came the war of Iraq, one and two, Iraq of freedom and all that. That was a necessity because United States wanted to showcase the armaments that they have accumulated over the years, intervening years, and the oil. And there were no uh, bombs of mass destruction that Saddam had. Okay, that's politically what it was. Now, nowadays, when you have a, a person in control of government who is obviously, obviously, uh, a non-human, I guess you would say. So he probably has have not washed his own clothes since even he was young. Has not even used washed his underwear on his own. I guess because he is from that 1% elite person who does not sympathize with the people like me who you know come from the poor, come from I come from the middle class. Not him. He cannot understand that. All he does understand is his own self and nothing more beyond what he can see beyond his nose. Now, this is kind of interesting because if you don't empower him, this leader, but there are people surrounding him, righteous capitalist billionaires, and the people like Noam, Homan, Hexit, all those kinds of people. Patel. Patel is a crazy dude. You can see that in he's uh yeah, he pretends to be American, but deep down I can see that he's Indian more than American. And you know what Indians are? They're very abrupt, and they can. His attitude alone is not American. It's more kind of an Indian. I have got nothing to do. I haven't got nothing against the Indian people because I am part Indian. My ancestors came from India. Matter of fact, my father's name, uh, nickname was Bon Singh. That's, that's, that's how he was called when he was young. Well, let's get back to the topic. The political scenario is that he's being empowered by people who are also in the fringes of like he treats America just like he's a CEO of a company. He treats it like one of his company because he doesn't really care about what other he calls people names. He very childish. He mm, even his own people, he cannot even control them. He also, for some reason, he has amassed wealth now that he is in power, albeit legally. And I doubt if he was on his own, would would be able to amass this kind of wealth. It's probably a little bit dumb, but intelligent dumb, because his people surrounding him is also as dumb as he is, feeding him with all the information, starting with Navarro, who feed him with the tariff plan, and it's not working because you know why? Tariffs are taxes, and the I mean, the American people are suffering from that. It's too obvious. Well, I don't know how this will end. His immigration, although I said, okay, legal immigration is fine. Legal immigration for everybody is what we need to do. I had a video or a blog about that uh, before Trump came into office, and now he already did it. ICE is detaining people or deporting people who are American citizens or U.S. citizens at the pretense that it was acquired illegally without due process. That's not fair. Some people may have had some run-ins with the government, but I don't think all of them have. If if they came in illegally, they got to go back. If the parents came in illegally and you came in illegally, or you're not legally settled, you got to go. But not for people who are legal, who came into America legally, who lived and worked and retired in America legally. They should stay here in America. That's the way it should be. Not in they're not causing any trouble. Let's also let's also uh, uh, go into the economy that we are in right now. Most of the consumer commodities are very expensive. They're almost out of hand. In my example, I used to, you know, uh, before Trump, I used to spend a good 300, at the most 300 a month for groceries, and about $200 for gas a month. Makes 500 plus the utilities. It's about almost 1,000 from that. I'm fine with that because I was earning good money. I said, listen, I didn't feel the pinch. I can pay for my house at the time. I have food. I have vacation time and all that stuff. Nowadays, grocery, I spend something like 500 from the 300. I spend like 500 per month, or even more than that, $600 per month. That's because of this tariff. And the gas, since I'm retired, it's almost like $200. But that's not to say we're using two cars and we don't go out every day. And even if we do, we don't go very far away from where we live. So security, not so. Violence and all that that's creeping into all communities. It, it's not safe in America. That's safe. Also, as I said, an open economy with uh, with no reset button is not good because some people are going to be left behind. For example, in an open economy, open system, everything is open. I mean, uh, interest rates are going way up and nothing to control about that. And sometimes it goes down, but sellers of people remains stagnant and the prices goes up. I'm surprised we still are here able to survive even with all this onslaught of higher prices and without our pensions going up. We still maintain almost the same, about 80% of what we used to do when we were working, both of us. In a sense, retiring in America is a challenge altogether. One must have, you know, a forecast and a analysis of everyday, expenses and all that. Say, for example, nowadays instead of traveling so many different places in one year, we probably have. Last year we had two. Maybe this year we'll have two travels. Whereas before we could go, wow, three, four, five times Europe, Asia, inside America. It was easy for us to do because we were in a sense our income was able to support the lifestyle. But nowadays it's kind of hard. It's not easy for us to do the things we used to do. Now, in an economy where interest rates can go up and it's not a sliding scale of up and down type of thing. The stock markets, they're all, you know, there's always a tendency of the market to crash. Prices of oil right now, as I speak, this is March 9, 2026. Average price of crude oil is 92 a barrel, and it may go up, even go up to 150. My goodness, things are going to be drastic. There's no alternative because Trump said that the United States has the most oil reserve in the world, but you know, these things are finite. We need alternative sources of fuel. But no, the Trump administration said no way. Everybody uh, can go electric or alternative by the year 2035. It's about 9 years from now. Okay, what do we need? Do we need a reset? No, it's impossible. The way the markets are going right now, it's impossible to reset. The year when we had COVID, when there was a stoppage of everything in this world, it would have been best to reset the economy, everything, reset markets, stocks, interest, reset it. But no, the greed of the super elite billionaires, they don't want that to stop. They don't want that. They don't want to lose money from resetting. So this is where we're at right now. Money is tight for everybody. I've seen so many people, sometimes a coworker who has become homeless. And they were earning good money, very real good money. And some people are homeless. The number of people getting homeless uh, in my part of this world used to be less than 5,000. Now it's over 32,000. That's way too much homeless individuals. Who's to blame? Them, maybe partly because of how they manage their lifestyle. They might be alcoholics or drug abusers or never save money. But what's the whole thing? It's not them who lost the faith in the government, wherein one cannot find a job, or even if they find a job, it is very low paying and cannot one cannot afford to maintain an apartment. Well, I may have to end this quite peacefully right now, and hoping that the best for the future, if they can change the tone of government into or what is today, 24, 25, the 6, the 7, 28, in 4 years, the 6, the 7, 28, about 2 years something, almost 3 years. If they can change the whole scenario and keep America on the right track of decent humanity and uh, let the hope of the people be raised again and be great again, I guess it will be best when the time comes after this administration. We'll see. Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate your time. Goodbye.